press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Welcome back, my dear students. Continuation regarding 16th year group elements. Already we finished the general properties of 16th year group elements, and one more was left, that is allotropic forms, allotropous. So here 16th year group elements is said to be oxygen family. So here allotropy. Already we know that existence of more than one physical form, same chemical properties but different physical properties, the element should be one and only, is termed as allotropy. Already we discussed in 15th year group elements, except nitrogen, remaining all elements exhibit allotropy. Nitrogen also show allotropy in solid state, that is alpha nitrogen, beta nitrogen. Such type of exceptions, conditions are not there in 16th year group elements. All elements exhibit allotropy. Make a note, my dear students. In 16th year group elements, all elements exhibit allotropies. So here one and only element, that is oxygen. We know oxygen is gaseous state. The allotropy is triatomic, nothing but ozone. Generally all allotropes are in solid state. But one and only gaseous state allotropy, that is possible for oxygen. Gaseous state allotropy is triatomic oxygen. The triatomic oxygen is called as ozone. Make a note, this is important point. While coming to the second element is sulfur. Very, very important. Sulfur is exhibit two types of allotropes. One is crystalline, second one is amorphous. So here one will be the crystalline and while second one is amorphous. So amorphous was not in syllabus, but what will be the amorphous form we have to know, that is later. So here sulfur exhibit two types of allotropes. One is a crystalline form, second one is amorphous form. In crystalline, two types of allotropes are there. Number one is yellow rhombic sulfur. And second one is monoclinic sulfur. Yellow rhombic sulfur is called as alpha sulfur, monoclinic sulfur is called as beta sulfur. Make a note, my dear students, alpha sulfur and beta sulfur both are crystalline solids. While going to the amorphous is third one or first one, that is plastic sulfur. It is also called as gamma sulfur. Make a note, my dear students, all elements exhibit allotropes. Dioxygen in gaseous state exhibit allotrope name is triatomic oxygen. Triatomic oxygen is called as ozone. While coming to the sulfur available in two forms. One is crystalline solids, second one is amorphous. In crystallines, there are two types of allotropes are there. One is yellow rhombic sulfur, it is also called as alpha sulfur, and second one is monoclinic sulfur. Monoclinic sulfur is called as beta sulfur. And one more form is there, gamma sulfur. Gamma sulfur is also named as plastic sulfur. This plastic sulfur is non-crystalline, means there is amorphous form. Let us discuss the difference between these two, alpha sulfur, beta sulfur, yellow rhombic sulfur, monoclinic sulfur. What are the important points regarding this? We have to discuss. So make a note, my dear students, note down these points: yellow rhombic sulfur, alpha sulfur, monoclinic sulfur, beta sulfur, amorphous sulfur is plastic sulfur. Then what are the differences between these? We have to discuss now only. So here alpha sulfur or yellow rhombic. Second one is monoclinic. Stability, stable below 369 kelvins. Here stable above 369 kelvins. So here at room temperature alpha sulfur is stable. At room temperature alpha sulfur stable. At room temperature alpha sulfur stable, beta sulfur is not stable. Clear it is. 369 kelvins. 369 kelvins is nothing but 95.6 degrees centigrade actual, that is 95.6 degrees centigrade, we consider it is 96. Actually the value was 95.6 degrees centigrade. So here 95.6 degrees centigrade the value is less than 95.6 degrees, alpha sulfur is stable. More than 95.6 degrees is beta sulfur is stable. Clear it is. And here both alpha sulfur and beta sulfur both are have S8. Here also what? S8 puckered ring structure it is. Both are. What is the difference between these two means these two are differs by the packing efficiency. Both are puckered rings, both are S8, but the difference between these two, what are the difference between these two means packing efficiency. These two are deficient, these two are differs by packing efficiency, the arrangement of the constant particles. Constant particles is said to be atoms, ions or molecules. Clear? Both are having S8 molecules, beta also S8 molecules, both are puckered ring structures, but these are differs by packing efficiency. And see the structure of these compounds, these structures are just like as a crown like this. See my dear students, in textbook it was there, here yes, sulfurs, all are sulfurs, see this, puckered ring structure just like as a crown shape it is, and here bond angle is 105 degrees, and here bond length is 2.05 angstroms. Puckered ring structure just like as a crown shape model it is. Both are having same structures, but where these two are differs means these two are differs by that packing efficiency. Less than 396 alpha sulfur stable, more than 396 beta sulfur stable. The 396 is said to be 95.6 degrees centigrade temperature. 95.6 degrees centigrade is actual value it is, but in our textbook there was given in kelvins, approximately they said to be 97. So it is they said to be 369 kelvins. So here both are interconvertible. Both are interconvertible means see this, alpha sulfur equilibrium, beta sulfur. Alpha sulfur equilibrium, beta sulfur, the temperature is 95.6 degrees centigrade. Below 95.6 degrees centigrade, alpha sulfur. Above 95.6 degrees centigrade, beta sulfur. At 95.6 degrees centigrade, both alpha and beta are available. So this temperature is called as transition temperature. Make a note, my dear students. Take your book, take your notes and pen. Transition temperature, or open your NCERT textbook. This particular point was there in the text. Sulfur transition temperature. What is transition temperature? This 95.6 degrees centigrade temperature is called as transition temperature. Clear it is. Transition temperature. And both are insoluble in water. Alpha sulfur insoluble in water. Beta sulfur also insoluble in water. Alpha sulfur soluble in small extent in benzene or carbon tetrachloride. Small extent. Little bit soluble in benzene or little bit is soluble in carbon tetrachloride. So here insoluble in water, little extent in benzene or CCl4, but soluble in CS2. What is CS2? Carbon disulfide. Soluble in carbon disulfide. Make a note, my dear students, it was very important in this point of view. Both sulfurs are insoluble in water. A small extent soluble in benzene or carbon tetrachloride. While coming to the right side, it is insoluble in water. Insoluble in water and carbon tetrachloride also, but it is soluble in CS2. What is CS2? Carbon disulfide. Soluble in carbon disulfide. Both are Cooked ring, crown ring shape, and S8 molecules. Bond angle is 105 degrees, while bond length is 2.05 angstroms. Is said to be 205 picometers. Clear it is. So these are the important points regarding the sulfurs. And one more point is there. How to prepare monoclinic sulfur? This particular three lines are given in the text. Monoclinic sulfur is prepared from rhombic sulfur only. See this. Alpha sulfur on heating. What is the temperature? 95.6 degrees centigrade temperature. Above 95.6 degrees centigrade. Then alpha sulfur is converted into beta sulfur. What will be the process? We have to know the process. Take one china dish. On that china dish, transfer few quantity of alpha sulfur and heat the substance. Melt it. After melting, cooling. After melt, you should cool that. While cooling, one crust is formed. On the china dish or on the dish, one crust is formed. On the crust, surface of the crust, make 2 holes and evaporate the solution. Remaining part was appeared as needle shaped crystals. That is said to be monoclinic sulfur. What I said you understood it is? No. Simple. Already in the laboratory china dish will be there, dishes will be there. Not eating dishes it is. Dish, take one dish and transfer some alpha sulfur which is in a solid state. Melt the alpha sulfur. After melting, at a time you should cool that. While cooling that, one crust will be formed. After formation of crust, make 2 holes on the surface of the crust and a little remaining solution is poured out. Then after pouring the remaining solution, remaining liquid, the remaining part is appeared as needle shaped crystals, colorless needle shaped crystals. Those are called as monoclinic sulfur. Stable above 396 kelvins, soluble in carbon disulfide. Both are having S8 Cooked rings and crown shape, bond angle 105 degrees and bond length is 205 picometers or 2.05 angstroms. Clear it is. So this will be the information regarding this. And one more type of sulfur also there, that is called as plastic sulfur. Plastic sulfur is an example for amorphous and rhombic monoclinic. We observe that is S8 molecules in crown shape or Cooked ring shape will be there. But in plastic sulfur, the arrangement of the constituent sulfur atoms are in zigzag motion. Zigzag motion it was available. Due to that it is said to be amorphous solid. Clear it is. But nowadays according to the analysis, now sulfur atoms minimum the one recent experiment after experiments are going on. One more form is also found, that is cyclo S6. Cyclo S6, just like as a rhombic and monoclinic, how the rhombic and monoclinic sulfurs are there, that type, it is also that type. Cyclo X6, cyclo S6 form also there. This cyclo S6 form, which contains 6 to 20 sulfur atoms, are present in ring. It is available in the ring form. 6 to 20 sulfur atoms, 6 to 28 sulfur atoms are present in this cyclo S6, and it is stable above 1000 Kelvin temperature. Stable about 1000 Kelvin temperature, and it is available in the form of chair form. Chair form is like this. Like this, it is not clear, just wait. Cyclo S8, not S6, S8. So, just like as chair form it is. Which contains 6 to 20 sulfur atoms. Sulfur atoms per ring. One ring contains 6 to 20 sulfur atoms. One ring contains 6 to 20 sulfur atoms. So, it is available in the form of chair. Here also bond angle 105 degrees, bond length 2.05 angstroms. 102 degrees, bond angle 2.05 angstroms is a bond length. And one more important point was there regarding this allotropic form of sulfur. One more allotropy is also there, that is S2. S2 also available, and this S2 is predominantly paramagnetic substance. Very, very important, my dear students, make a note, this is paramagnetic substance. Like this cyclo S8 and S2. Predominantly this S2 form is paramagnetic substance. Which of the sulfur allotrope is paramagnetism? Which of the sulfur allotrope is paramagnetism means blindly you have to choose the option is S2 only. In NCERT text, last line you underline this, last line was there here. Last 3 lines this information only there. Now analysis said that nearly cyclo S8 contains 6 to 20 sulfur atoms per ring, and it is available in the form of chair, and S2 is the predominantly paramagnetic substance. S2 is a predominantly paramagnetic substance. So, I hope you understood, my dear students. If you are not able to understand, read the concept. While reading the concept, then listen the video, then you will get the idea about this. Clear it is. So, oxygen in gaseous state exists on allotropic form, that is triatomic ozone. Sulfur available in 2 forms, one is crystalline, second one is amorphous. Crystalline solids are further classified into 2 categories. One is alpha sulfur, second one is beta sulfur. Alpha sulfur stable at room temperature, beta sulfur unstable. Both alpha beta are interconvertible. The temperature is 95.6 degrees centigrade, that is called as 369 kelvins. The temperature is called as transition temperature. Below transition temperature alpha stable, above transition temperature beta stable. Both are having S8 molecules and both are puckered ring, but these two are differs by packing efficiency, the arrangement of the constituent particles, and beta sulfur is also prepared from alpha sulfur. From melting and cooling, after cooling formation of a crust, make 2 holes on that crust and pour that solution. Remaining you observe that needle shaped crystals will be observed, that is called as beta sulfur, and insoluble in water, both are insoluble in water, both are insoluble in carbon tetrachloride, but soluble in carbon disulfide. So, this is about the allotropic forms of sulfur. Later one more is also there according to the examination point of view, not but it is selenium also there. Selenium also available in 3 categories. One is alpha selenium, second one is a beta selenium, third one is a grey selenium. Make a note, my dear students, this is not in textbook NCERT, that is why I am saying it is. So alpha selenium, beta selenium both are having SC8. Alpha selenium, beta selenium both are having SC8 molecules, just like as Pocard ring structures like this. And while going to the gray selenium is a hexagonal shape, hexagonal metallic shape, and gray selenium is a conduct electricity. That was very important. And gray selenium is a stable out of alpha selenium, beta selenium. What is alpha? Beta means alpha is nothing but rhombic, beta is monoclinic. Alpha is rhombic, beta is monoclinic. Understood it was? What I am saying, just a minute. So here selenium, one is a rhombic selenium, it is alpha. Second one is a monoclinic selenium, beta, and third one is gray selenium. So alpha beta contains SC8 Pocard ring, just like as a crown shape. And while coming to the gray selenium is a hexagonal, and it is a stable, and it is conduct electricity. So make a note these 3 points. These are not in your NCERT text. So my dear students, please concentrate and make a note regarding this. So this is about allotropic forms. So this was the total general information regarding the 16th A group elements. What we discussed in last class: general properties, atomic radius, ionic radius, melting point, boiling point, electron gain enthalpy, electron affinity, electropositivity, metallic character, non-metallic character. What are the discussion regarding 16th A group elements, that is oxidation states and atomicity. So after that atomicity, oxidation state, next one is the allotropic forms. So these all are said to be general physical properties of 16th A group elements. And next followed by chemical properties are there. That chemical properties are further divided into 3 categories. Number 1 is hydrides, second one is oxides, third one is halides. So remember, my dear students, chemical properties, these are also general chemical properties. Hydrides, oxides, halides. Hydrides is nothing but binary compounds. The binary compound with hydrogen with 16th A group elements. Hydrogen plus 16th A group element is called as hydrides. The binary compound oxygen with 16th A group element is called as oxide. The binary compound which contains halogen plus 16th A group element is called as halide. So here number 1 is hydrides. These group elements are generally from the hydrides is MH2 or H2M. Instead of M you should write E. What is E? E is a 16th A group element. 16th A group element means oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. Clear it is. So EH2 or we should write H2E. So here let us consider that elements are H2O, H2S, H2SE, H2TE, H2PO. H2O, we know that H2O is called as water. While coming to the H2S, hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen selenide, hydrogen telluride, hydrogen polonide. Clear it is. Hydrogen monoxide, hydrogen oxide it is. Water is called as hydrogen oxide. Hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen selenide, hydrogen telluride, hydrogen polonide. Clear it is. Water, hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen selenide, hydrogen telluride, hydrogen polonide. So here, what are the importance of these hydrides? Remember, this is very important. Except water, remaining all are gaseous. Water is liquid at room temperature. Remaining all are gaseous. Water is liquid. Remaining all are gaseous. Make notes. These are very important points. Water is water is liquid. Remaining all are the gaseous. Remaining all hydrides are volatile, poisonous. Remaining all hydrides are volatile and poisonous. Water is a non-volatile, and boiling point of water is more. Boiling point of water is more. Down the group boiling point decreases. Abnormal boiling point of water molecule, non-volatile of water molecule can be explained in the form of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. My dear students, make a note, this was very important. Abnormal boiling point. Abnormal boiling point and non-volatile can be explained by what it is? Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Due to the intermolecular hydrogen bonding, water is liquid. Due to the intermolecular hydrogen bonding, water is liquid. Remaining all are gaseous. Remaining all are poisonous. Remaining all are volatiles. Water is non-volatile, not a poison. Water is a liquid. While coming down the group means H2O to H2PO. H2O to H2PO. So here, see this. While coming to H2O, oxygen is a sp3. Oxygen undergoes sp3 hybridization. Tetrahedral geometry. Tetrahedral geometry with 2 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs. Tetrahedral geometry with 2 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs. So it is nothing but a V shape or bent shape, and bond angle is 104.5 degrees. Bond angle in water molecule 104.5 degrees due to the valency shell electron pair repulsions. Repulsions between lone pair is more, while except this is water molecule. Remaining all hydrides also sp3, tetrahedral geometry with 2 lone pairs, 2 bond pairs, but bond angle is not 104.5 degrees, bond angle is nearly 90 degrees or 91 degrees only. Bond angle nearly 90 to 91 degrees, because of while going down electronegativity decreases. Oxygen more electronegative than sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Clear? Remaining all hydrides bond angle is nearly 90 degrees only. Remaining all hydrides also sp3 hybridized. All are tetragonal with tetrahedral with 2 lone pairs plus 2 bond pairs. But what the difference means? The bond angle is completely less compared to water molecule. So water is non-volatile, water is abnormal boiling point, water because of hydrogen bond takes place, and remaining all hydrides are gaseous, volatile and poisonous, and except water. We know that preparation of water, how to prepare water? Simply you should add H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O. Simple it is. H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O. Addition of hydrogen to oxygen gives rise to water molecule. Like this H2 plus S gives rise to H2S. This is not possible. My dear students, make a note it is. Sulfides, selenides, tellurides does not prepare directly combined the corresponding elements, the constituent elements. Water is prepared, but water preparation is good, but remaining elements cannot be prepared. So how to prepare the remaining elements? So here, and metal oxides, suppose FeS. FeS is called as iron sulfide, ferrous sulfide plus H2SO4 gives rise to what we will get? FeSO4 plus H2S, like this method. Like this method we are preparing remaining hydrates except water. Except water because of water directly prepared by the corresponding elements. Water directly prepared by the corresponding elements, or we should use this equation also. Na2O plus H2O. Na2O plus HCl gives rise to what we will get? NaCl plus H2O. 2 NaCl, 2 HCl. See this reaction. Metal oxide dissolved with acid. Metal sulfide with sulfuric acid. Acid it is. Metal sulfide with acid. Metal oxide with acid. Metal oxide with acid gives rise to water molecule. No need to take risk it is. This is a risky process. Instead of that, simply you should add hydrogen to oxygen. Addition of hydrogen plus oxygen gives rise to water molecule only. But remaining hydrates are not prepared directly combining of their constituent elements. Only this facility is good for water molecule only. Clear it is. This facility is good for water molecule. Except water, remaining all are volatiles. What will be the volatile order is? Volatile order, you make a note, my dear students, it is volatile order H2S, H2SE, H2TE, H2O. This is volatile order. Hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen selenide, hydrogen telluride and water molecule. While coming down H2O between two oxygen, oxygen versus hydrogen single bond takes place. While going down bond length increases. Bond length increases means bond dissociation energy decreases. Bond dissociation energy decreases. Make a note, this one is very important. While bond dissociation energy decreases, thermal stability decreases. My dear students, this point was very important. Make a note, it is while bond dissociation enthalpy decreases, thermal stability decreases. Thermal stability of 16th A group hydrides. Thermal stability of 16th A group hydrides, what it is? H2O greater than, H2S greater than, H2S greater than, sorry, H2SE greater than, H2TE. This is thermal stability. Thermal stability. Explained in the form of what? Bl increases, Be decreases down the group. Down the group. Here H2O here O will be there. Next step S, H2S, S will be there. After that SE, after that TE. Size increases, bond length increases. Bond length increases means bond dissociation energy, easy to break the bond. So thermal stability order is decreases. Volatile order H2S greater than, H2SE greater than, H2TE greater than, H2O. Thermal stability order H2O greater than, H2S greater than, H2SE greater than, H2TE. While coming to the boiling point order, make a note, my dear students, boiling point order was very important. So boiling point order, what we expect? Boiling point order, first we have to give choice to water molecule 100 degrees centigrade, and the next choice goes to H2TE, next H2SE and H2S. Remember this point, very important. Make a note, my dear students, this point was very important. Boiling point order of 16th A group elements: water, hydrogen telluride, hydrogen selenide and hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide more volatile it is. More volatile means easy to evaporate. It is. So, and while coming to the acidic character, these are the preparations, preparation of hydrides. Except water, remaining hydrides are prepared from metal sulfides plus acid. Metal sulfides plus acid will get metal sulfides, metal selenides, metal tellurides, FeS, FeSe, FeTe, like that. Metal tellurides, metal selenides, metal sulfides are treated with sulfuric acid, they will produce H2S, H2Se, H2Te, like that. No need to take tension about water molecule because of water is universal. It was easy to prepare by that directly addition of hydrogen to oxygen. It is clear. It is. So here make a note. These 3 points are very very important, my dear children. Please make a note. Volatile nature H2S, H2SE, H2TE, H2O. While coming to the thermal stability H2O, H2S, H2SE, H2TE. What is the reason for thermal stability? It is while the bond length increases, it is bond energy decreases. Bond energy decreases means stability decreases. It is. And except water, remaining all are act as reducing agents. Except water, remaining all are act as reducing agents. Except water it is, and all are sp3 hybridized, and all are tetragonal with 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. Except water, remaining all examples bond angle is nearly 90-91 degrees. Water bond angle 104.5 degrees. Water is less volatile, non-poisonous and liquid. Remaining all are gaseous. Remaining all are what it is? Gaseous. So make a note, my dear students. And acidic strength increases down the group. Acidic strength increases down the group because of these type of hydrides are dibasic. Basicity 2. Diprotic. It is diprotic because of in these examples 2 hydrogen atoms are there. These 2 hydrogen atoms are easily liberated as proton. Easily liberated as what it is? Proton. So I think you have to understand. You copied this and followed by that acidic strength of 16th A group hydrides. Acidic strength increases. H2O less than, H2S less than, H2SG less than, H2T. Clear it is. Because of already we know that EH2 or we should write MH2 plus water gives rise to H3O plus MH minus. H3O plus MH minus means it donate one proton. Proton donor is called as acid. Proton donor is called as acid. So here H3O plus MH minus. While down the group H plus will be easily ionizes due to the size increases. Bond dissociation enthalpy decreases. Bond dissociation enthalpy was decreases. It is clear. It is. So H2O less than, H2S less than, H2SE less than, H2TE, and H2O greater than, H2S greater than, H2SE greater than, H2TE. It is thermal stability, and H2S, H2SE, H2TE, H2O it is volatile, H2O, H2TE, H2SE, H2S it is boiling point order. All are sp3 tetrahedral, 2 bond pairs plus 2 lone pairs. H2O 104 degrees, 104.5 degrees, rest are 90 to 91 degrees. 90 to 91 degrees it is. Remaining all are 90 to 91 degrees. Water is non-volatile. Remaining all are volatile. All are poisonous. It is non-poisonous, and it is gaseous. All are. It is liquid. Direct combination H2O2 gives H2O. Here metal sulfide plus acid. Metal sulfide plus acid gives rise to hydrogen sulfide, metal selenides, metal tellurides, like such type of examples you consider, then you will get an idea about this. Clear it is. Practice that equations. If you are practicing equations, then you will get idea. Otherwise, it is very difficult. It is because it is inorganic chemistry. Organic means interrelated, but it is we have to practice. More practice only you will get idea about this. Clear it is. So this is a picture about hydrides. MH2 hydrides or H2M hydrides. Those are the importance of these hydrides. And after that, next one is oxides. Oxides, followed by oxides, MO2 oxides, MO3 oxides. MO3 oxides is called as trioxides, MO2 oxides are called as dioxides. If M means, generally we consider M is called as metal, but here don't use this M. Instead of M you should take E, EO2, non-metal actually it is. Electronegativity more it is compared to metals it is. So, dioxides and trioxides. Dioxides, trioxides, oxygen dioxide is ozone, O2 plus O is ozone, because oxygen O plus O2 gives ozone. Next is SO2, SeO2, TeO2, PoO2. Next, oxygen trioxide is not there, SO3, SeO3, TeO3, and some other oxides also there. Those are said to be monoxides. Monoxides, oxygen monoxide is not there. Sulfur monoxide, S2O, S6O, S8O. Selenium does not form monoxides. Make a note, my dear students, this is very, very important point. The selenium does not form monoxides. And tellurium monoxide, TeO, polonium monoxide, PoO. So, these are the oxides, trioxides, dioxides. All oxides are acidic in nature. All oxides are acidic in nature. Trioxides are strong acidic than dioxides. Trioxides are strong acidic than dioxides. According to our information, ozone and SO2 are gases. SeO2 is solid. Make a note, my dear students, this was very, very important. Ozone and SO2 are gases. SeO2 is solid. Selenium does not form monoxide. All oxides are acidic in nature. Actually, 4 types of oxides are there: acidic oxides, basic oxides, amphoteric oxides, neutral oxides. One column was there in the textbook, one separate side heading was there regarding this. Oxides, a simple one paragraph, not one paragraph, it is in NCERT textbook, right side 3-4 paragraphs are there. Oxides. On that oxides there was given 4 types of oxides. Not detailed they was given, but on that description, once you read that you should get idea about this. From this information we will get 4 types of oxides, that is acidic oxides, basic oxides, amphoteric oxides, neutral oxides. Clear it is. We will discuss that also now it is. If we will discuss that, it will be finished to the total entire oxides it is. So, in NCERT text what they was given, this only the information was given, simple short and sweet paragraph was there in the text. Once you go through the text, because of I suggested to all the students read NCERT is only the life. You should feel NCERT it is. Clear? Then only you become a doctor in future. What you observed in previous NEET question paper, all questions from NCERT only. Clear? Be confident and read. Just we require patience. Patience, then it is easy to read this. Clear? Read the equations, practice the equations, practice, read, practice, read, practice, read, practice, read, that only. Then you will get idea about that. Clear it is. Practice, read, solve, practice, read, solve, practice, read, solve. Then your mind will be accurate it is. Clear it is. Like that type of hard work if you are doing, definitely you become number 1 position, I think it is. Clear? So, This is information regarding oxides. Generally oxides direct combines. S plus O2 gives rise to SO2. SO2 plus O2 gives rise to SO3. Direct combination of the constant elements. Direct combination of the constant elements will get a direct oxides. So these group elements forms two types of oxides, dioxides, trioxides. Oxygen only dioxide, trioxide does not form. Polonium also trioxide is not there. Selenium is exception for monoxide. Remaining all are forms monoxides, dioxides, trioxides. So here little bit information regarding these oxides, and these oxides are broadly divided into four categories. One is basic oxides, acidic oxides, neutral oxides, and amphoteric oxides. So simple oxides. Simple oxides, number one is acidic oxides. Acidic oxides means a substance which is dissolved in water produce acid. A substance which is dissolved in acid, which can dissolve in water and produce acid, is called as acidic oxide. What the substance? Where we have to collect the substance? What the information? Means don't apply it like this. Because of we know that in periodic table left side portion is metals, right side portion is non-metals, middle portion is metals. Clear? Non-metals acids, metals bases. Remember this point, very very important. P block elements form acids, S block elements form bases. Non-metal oxides dissolved in water gives acids, metal oxides dissolved in water base. But some exceptions are there. We have to make a note regarding that exceptions. Clear? What the exceptions we will discuss now only it is. So acidic oxides. What are the acidic oxides? See this. C plus O2 gives rise to CO2. CO2 plus H2O gives rise to H2CO3. Carbonic acid. Carbonic acid. This is called as acid. Carbonic acid. S plus O2 gives rise to SO2. SO2 plus O2 gives rise to SO3. This is SO2 plus H2O gives rise to H2SO3. SO3 plus H2O gives rise to H2SO4. Sulfurous acid. Sulfuric acid. See this, my dear students. Sulfurous acid, sulfuric acid, carbonic acid. P4O6 plus H2O gives rise to H3PO3. Phosphorus acid. P4O10 plus H2O gives rise to H3PO4. Phosphoric acid. Cl2O7 plus H2O gives rise to HClO4. Perchloric acid. These all are acids. Simple oxides further classified into four categories. That is, number one is acidic oxides. What is that? What are acidic oxides? Non-metal oxides. Non-metal oxides are called as acidic oxides. But some exceptions are there. Some exceptions. What are the exceptions? Let us consider. Make a note. It is CrO3, V2O5, Mn2O7. Make a note, my dear students. Manganese, chromium, vanadium. These are belongs to D block. These are metals. The behavior of these oxides also acidic in nature. Because in these examples the metal exhibit higher oxidation. Higher oxidation number is acidic in nature. In this example, manganese exhibit +7 oxidation. Here chromium exhibit +6 oxidation. Here vanadium exhibit +5 oxidation. So this is exception, my dear students. Make a note. This was very important point. It is clear. Very important point. So make a note. This was very important. Already what I said, acidic oxides means what is the general information? Non-metal oxides are acidic. Non-metal oxides are acidic. But here what will be the exception? Some metal oxides are also exhibit acidic nature. These are also neutralized in a OH solution. Acidic means which neutralize NaOH. Which neutralize NaOH is called as acidic oxides. So, these also neutralize NaOH, Mn2O7, Cr2O6 or CrO3 and V2O5. Vanadium pentoxide, chromium oxide, manganese oxide, these in these examples the constant elements are exhibit higher oxidation levels. Due to that reason these are belongs to metals, but these are said to be acidic oxides. This exception you make a note, my dear students. This exception you make a note, remaining will be the common points. SO2, H2SO3, H2SO4, H3PO4, H3PO3, H2CO3, these are the common examples. HNO3, HNO2, NO2 plus NO2 plus H2O gives HNO2, NO3 plus H2O gives HNO3. Like that, those are said to be what it is common examples. So, don't put efforts more on that common examples, because already these points you know. But make a note, this is very very important. Mn2O7, CrO3, V2O5 are said to be acidic oxides, but these are metal oxides. Actually, metal oxides are bases. Metal oxides are bases, non-metallic oxides are acids. I said it is. Not I said, there is general information regarding. Clear it is. So, non-metal oxides are acids, but some metal oxides also exhibit acidic behavior. These are also neutralized in NaOH solution, because of in these examples the elements are exhibit higher oxidation state. So, this is acidic oxides. Next acidic oxides, after this acidic oxides, next one is basic oxides. Basic oxides which neutralizes HCl solution, which neutralizes HCl solution, which neutralizes HCl solution, that is metal oxides. Metal oxides are what? Bases, or metal oxides are basic nature. Metal oxides are basic nature. We know that Mg plus O2 gives MgO, Ca plus O2 gives CaO. Dissolved in water, what we will get? Magnesium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, Na2O2 plus H2O, Na2O2 plus H2O gives NaOH, sodium hydroxide, KO2 plus H2O, potassium hydroxide. These all are bases, strongest bases. Strong bases for alkali group metals are strongest bases, alkaline earth metals are weak bases compared to first A group elements. So, these all are metals, metal plus oxygen, metal oxide. Metal oxide dissolved in water, we will get base. So, here metal oxides are basic in nature, non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. What is exception in this example? Exception is CrO3, Mn2O7 and V2O5. While coming to the amphoteric, amphoteric means amphoteric which neutralize HCl solution as well as which neutralize NaOH solution, both, which is reacts with acid as well as reacts with base, is said to be amphoteric. What are the good examples for amphoteric? Already in that periodic table we know that some metalloids are there. Those particular metalloids are in amphoteric in nature. What are the amphoteric nature? It is SnO2 is there, SnO2 amphoteric in nature, ZnO amphoteric in nature, Ge2O3 amphoteric in nature, Sb4O6 amphoteric in nature. So, here third one, amphoteric. So, make a note, this is a common example, already all of you know about this. So, that is why no need to take tension regarding this, because this is already we know this. So, here ZnO, SnO2, Ge2O3, Sb4O6 and one good example is that is Al2O3. Al2O3 is aluminum oxide, it is also called as alumina. Aluminum oxide reacts with acid, Al2O3 reacts with HCl solution to gives rise to AlH2O taken 6 plus Cl minus, AlH2O taken 6 plus Cl minus. So, here same Al2O3 treated with NaOH solution to gives rise to Na3Al OH taken 6, Na3Al OH taken 6. So here see these reactions, see these two reactions. Aluminum oxide dissolved reacts with acid, aluminum oxide reacts with base to gives rise to salt, to gives rise to salt. In textbook there was given it is a Cl3, Cl3 instead of this formula AlH2O taken 6, Cl3. These are said to be complex compounds. These are said to be complex compounds, my dear students. Make a note. So it is amphoteric in nature. Amphoteric in nature means both acidic property as well as basic property. So such type of oxides are called as amphoteric: ZNO, SNO2, Ze2O3, Sb4O6, Al2O3. So these all are collectively called as amphoteric, BeO, beryllium oxide, amphoteric in nature. And fourth category is there, very important. Fourth category, neutral oxides. Neutral oxides neither reacts with HCl nor with NaOH. Neutral it is, neutral with litmus. It not react with red litmus, not react with blue litmus, and it not any reaction with HCl, and not give proper reaction with NaOH. This type of oxides are called as neutral oxides. What are neutral oxides is, already I see you said that is N2O, NO, CO. Laughing gas, NO, nitric oxide, CO, carbon monoxide. This is very important, my dear students. It is make a note which of the following are the neutral oxides. Many times repeated question for JEE it is. What are neutral oxides? Now in this list H2 also joined in this list, but actually neutral oxides are 3 only, and that is no, laughing gas. No, what is no? NO, nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is no. Laughing gas formula N2O. Third one is carbon monoxide. So these are the oxides, simple oxides. And next one is halides, which is halides. Just a minute. And next was halides is there. After halides, completion of the halides, next is the preparation of dioxygen, and preparation of ozone, and preparation of SO2 and sulfuric acid, oxyacids of sulfur. And those will be the remaining topics what we have to be discussed in next classes. Clear? So I hope you understood, my dear children. Be concentrate on classes, stay with us, and subscribe the channel, and concentrate the videos, and prove your talent. If you are satisfied, like button dabao sab log, and be positive, show your identity, stay safe, stay home. Good luck. Thank you.